China Current is a weekly news talk show from China to the world. We cover viral news about China every week and also give you the newest updates on China's cutting-edge technologies. Let's get started.
Welcome to China Currents, your weekly news report on what's happening in China. I'm Lisa. In this episode, China announced a new round of sanctions against 10 US arms companies. Chinese airliner while operate in Southeast Asia. China beats Starlink in satellite communication tech. First, let's see the impact of China's sanctions. On the 2nd of January, China announced a new round of sanctions against 10 US arms companies, including 28 subsidiaries and laboratories owned by Lockheed Martin and General Dynamics. They are banned from buying any resources from China, which is likely to seriously impact the US military supply chain. According to MIT, China provides 97% of world's rare earth resources, 17 essential metals used in critical military equipment, like fighter jet engine, naval sonar systems, and tank-mounted laser rangefinders. As a result of these sanctions, repairing and restocking high-tech weapons could become much more difficult for the US military, effectively making them costly disposable items. The Chinese Ministry of Commerce said these sanctions are a response to US arms sales to Taiwan. Chinese strategist Professor Wang Xiangshui commented that China is giving the US a taste of its own medicine. More importantly, this action reminds the US that the time of unilaterally using sanctions is over. In a multipolar world, any effort to maintain a one-sided dominance are likely to fail. Recent events in Japan and Australia indicate that the US plan to arm Taiwan is likely to fail, even without China's sanctions. This failure is attributed not just to operational challenges, but also fallout between the allies. On the one hand, Australia has pointed out that the US is abandoning Taiwan. The main goal of supplying weapons to Taiwan is to support the first island chain, which is meant to contain mainland China. This strategy, designed by General MacArthur, views Taiwan as an unsinkable aircraft carrier. It dates back to 1955, when President Eisenhower stated that the US would use force to protect Formosa and the Pescadores against armed attack. However, recent US military actions showed a lack of confidence in meeting this commitment. The South China Morning Post reported that the US Air Force is moving troops from major bases like Guam to smaller, previously unused island airstrips to avoid being targeted by Chinese missiles. Sam Roggeveen, director of the International Security Program at Australia Lowy Institute, pointed out that this change shows the US military main goal in Asia is not to establish a strong presence to win a war against China, but simply to survive. The Wall Street Journal has also highlighted this retreat plan. The US Air Force is reactivating an airbase on Tinian Island, which is more than 2,100 kilometers from Taipei and 2,400 kilometers from Tokyo. According to the official USAF website, the F-16 fighter jet has a maximum operational radius of less than 900 kilometers for surface attack missions. When carrying only external fuel tanks and not armed, it can reach about 3,900 kilometers. This means that if the airbase in Guam is destroyed, and even if the aircraft are saved, the USAF won't be able to provide air support to its allies. Once the US Air Force chooses to survive beyond the first island chain, it likely won't return. Additionally, on the 26th of December 2024, China revealed two sixth-generation stealth fighter jets, enhancing its military advantage in the Taiwan Strait and posing a significant challenge to the US military. This situation is unprecedented for the US Air Force since World War II, as it faces an opponent with technological capabilities that are equal or even superior to its own. So the question is, without the ability to gain an edge through superior weaponry, can the United States still challenge China's sovereignty and maintain its increasingly questionable global dominance? Japan also seems to believe that the White House strategy for Taiwan is likely to fail. Back in June 2021, Japan and the US held the largest Orient Shield mission exercise, which included an important anti-missile drill. Soon after, Japanese Deputy Prime Minister Taro Aso said that Japan and the US need to work together to defend Taiwan, as they felt that getting involved in the Taiwan situation with China was a low-risk option. However, a Chinese intercontinental missile test in September 2024 shattered this illusion. Despite prior notification from China, US radar systems stationed in Taiwan Island failed to track the missile trajectory and landing site. This failure, along with the actual combat experiences in Ukraine, prompted Japan to reassess the risk of intervening in the Taiwan situation. The US reluctance to share these risks with Japan further highlighted concerns about its reliability as an ally. Consequently, in December 2024, Japanese Prime Minister Shigeru Ishiba postponed a planned visit to the US and instead emphasized the need to improve relations with China. For US allies, it's evident that the Taiwan strategy is likely to fail, with the primary beneficiaries being arms manufacturers. Sales of arms to Taiwan have surpassed $26 billion during the Trump and Biden administrations, and these transactions seem to primarily benefit US officials. For instance, General Dynamics, which provided M1A2T tanks to Taiwan, has spent over $10 million each year on lobbying, with expenses increasing constantly since 2019. Fortunately, China's targeted sanctions on US arms companies are making arms sales to Taiwan increasingly unprofitable. This shift could allow US taxpayer funds to be redirected to more pressing needs, such as healthcare and improving outdated infrastructure. Next, here's some good news about civilian aviation. On the 2nd of January, Chinese media outlet Guancha reported that China's C919 airliner is set to operate in Southeast Asia by 2026. The C919 is entirely made in China and produced by the Commercial Aircraft Corporation of China, COMAC. As of August 2024, COMAC had received over 1,000 orders for the C919 and is actively marketing it internationally, especially in Southeast Asia. In October of the previous year, Indonesian airline Lynx Air became the first international carrier to operate a flight using another COMAC model, the C909. This was significant because it marked the first time a foreign airline used a Chinese-made plane for international flights between China and another country. Lynx Air is also considering test flights with the C919. According to forecasts from aviation consultancy Syrian, nearly 1,700 C919s could be delivered by 2042. Potentially giving it a market share of around 25%, which would challenge Boeing's 30% share. COMAC, a Shanghai-based company established just 17 years ago, has cultivated a corporate culture that prioritizes safety, making it more appealing than Boeing. The Civil Aviation Administration of China states that the C919 must undergo safety checks every 4 months or after 700 flight hours or 500 flight cycles, whichever comes first. These inspections, performed by a team of over 60 personnel, include detailed checks of the plane engines, landing gear, and cabin equipment. Boeing had the chance to develop a similar safety-focused culture, but didn't fully realize it. In March 2024, former Boeing employee John Barnett was found dead in his car. Barnett had worked in quality control at Boeing for 32 years, including 7 years as a manager at Boeing South Carolina. He had previously raised concerns about serious safety issues with the Boeing 787 Dreamliner, including the use of substandard parts. Just days before his death, he was involved in a lawsuit against Boeing. While police ruled his death a suicide by gunshot, a close friend claimed Barnett had said, "If anything happened to me, it wasn't suicide." Moving on to exciting developments in satellite technology. On the 28th of December 2024, China reached a significant milestone in satellite communication by successfully conducting its first satellite-to-ground laser communication trial at a remarkable speed of 100 gigabits per second. This breakthrough allows a satellite to transmit 10 full-length movies to Earth every second. The satellite, named O2AO2, is part of China's Jilin-1 commercial network, developed by Chongguang Satellites. This achievement positions China ahead of Elon Musk's Starlink in satellite communication capabilities. While Starlink has implemented inter-satellite laser communication, it has not yet developed a satellite-to-ground system. In contrast, China is gearing up for large-scale deployment of this technology. This advancement could soon be integrated into China's satellite ground mobile internet systems, helping to alleviate current bandwidth limitations in satellite communications. It promises faster data transfer rates and a wider spectrum, enhancing 5G non-terrestrial networks and paving the way for 6G satellite internet. Experts believe this innovation will extend network coverage to remote areas and open seas, ensuring reliable communication even in the most challenging environment. Soon, wherever there is light, there will be high-speed internet provided by China. And that is all for today. Thank you for watching this episode of China Currents. If you have any thoughts or comments about our show, please reach us at the email address below. We look forward to hearing from you and see you next time.